на гала-бенкеті «Tryzub» в Торонто нагороджено мецената Бориса Городинського за його визначний вклад в українське суспільство в Канаді. Сьогодні в програмі почуємо його поради на подальший розвиток нашої громади.
Welcome to the third annual Tryzub Awards Gala. The Tryzub Awards have aspired to reach the entire Ukrainian-Canadian diaspora. To celebrate its recipients and through its partnership, the Shevchenko Foundation used the raised funds to support numerous causes that reflect the daily lives and interests of Canadian Ukrainians. Without further ado, I would like to call upon Borys Balan, President of the Shevchenko Foundation, to say a few words.
We at the Shevchenko Foundation are very proud to partner with the Myhal Family Foundation in recognizing individuals who make a difference to the world in which we live. It is our role to contribute to the entire world's understanding of what it is to be Ukrainian. We congratulate Borys Horodynsky for his incredible generosity and leadership in the Ukrainian Canadian community.
Over the years, I've enjoyed my association with both the Shevchenko Foundation and the Tryzub Award. I've also been very fortunate to enjoy my friendship with this evening's Community Leadership Award recipient, Mr. Borys Horodynsky. Some of Borys's generous contributions to community and healthcare organizations include the Horodynsky Community Kitchen, the Rosardo Health and Wellness Center, the Royal Victoria Hospital, St. Peter and Paul, and something that we all love going to, the Bloor West Festival, to name a few. This reveals Borys's commitment to improving the quality of life for so many. Farming is not for the faint of heart. Try growing a tomato patch in your backyard. It takes commitment, smarts, and talent. So these qualities were observed by a group of community people in Bradford, Ontario, about an hour north of here, and expressed to Borys's mother about her young son, Borys. They said, Mrs. Horodynsky, your son, he's got zoloty ruke, golden hands. Well, those zoloty ruke exemplify Borys's passion, knack, and ingenuity for the intricacies of farming in order to feed millions of people each and every day. From the golden hands in the field to the golden touch of your philanthropic impact, I am honored to present the 2023 Community Leadership Tryzub Award to our friend, Borys Horodynsky.
And I am very honored and very humbled to be here this evening, to be included with the likes of Jim and Louise Temerty, retired General Winnicke, as the Shevchenko Community Leadership Award recipients, but more importantly, to tell my story and have my opportunity that inspires and encourages the next Tryzub Community Leaders recipient. I am the son of Ukrainian immigrants that came over to Canada after World War II. My father was born in Ternopil in Western Ukraine. My mom was born in a village about 15 kilometers outside Sumy. My mom lived through the famine in 31, 32, 33, where 3/4 of her village perished. The Germans took my mom away in 1942, 43, because she was of age to be forced labor by the Nazis. She ended up first in Poland, Germany, then ended up in Salzburg, Austria, working on a farm as forced labor. And she kind of lucked out because there she knew she would be fed. And people don't realize how many young Ukrainian women perished during World War II in those German factories that were being bombed upon by the Allies. My father was also, he was in the Ukrainian Insurgent Army during World War II. And they both ended up in the American Red Cross DP camps, displaced person camps, right near Salzburg. They were operating them at that time. So they came to Canada in 49 and 50 with my oldest sister that was born in the DP camp. Like I say, my mom is going to be 100 years old later this month. And what I wanted to say about us, about the Ukrainian people and the Ukrainian character, I mean, how resilient can you be to go through what this woman went through and here hit the 100 years and her head is perfect. Like, I mean, she loves when I come in there and I bring all those Ukrainian papers in for her to read because she's really into, all right, she's Ukrainian, she's from Ukraine. So me and my brother, he's a couple of years younger, we're at the kitchen table and she's teaching us grade 1, grade 2 bukvar, how to read and write Ukrainian. Hey, at that age, I could think of better things to be doing instead of hanging around a table, learning how to read and write Ukrainian. I said to her, I said, hey, we don't need the Ukrainian language in this country. We speak English here in Canada. She says, wait a minute, Boris, wait a minute, Borys. She says, let me tell you a story. You are born of Ukrainian blood, and you must know who you are, where you came from, and then you'll be a good Ukrainian, or a good Canadian. My parents settled in the Holland Marsh area, which is just north of Toronto, an hour or so. We're most of the biggest vegetable growing area in Canada. I grew up around farms and started working when I was quite young. So I kind of chose my career already at a very youthful age because I liked it. And then I bought my first piece of farmland when I was 20 years old. It was 10 acres. From truck market crops, I started growing root vegetables like carrots, parsnips, onions, rented more land, and in the mid-1980s, I bought a farm in the Cookstown Marsh, which is a little bit south of Barrie, north of the Holland Marsh, same type of soil. We rented more land and we started clearing. It was treed. So at that time, you were only farming 5, 10 acres. Everything was done by hand. It was like a village of Ukrainians. But it goes to show you something about our people. They're not afraid to go into the bush and, cut down those trees. And hey, I'm talking by hand, not with modern equipment like when we were clearing, right? The farms that we farm are on old glacial lake bottoms. So this is remnants of the last glacier. They were shallow lakes, and they eventually filled in with organic materials from the rotting bulrushes, tules, marsh grasses, trees, to accumulate to a depth of 4, 5, 6, 7 feet. So what you ended up with was that mineral soil that was there, which with a rich deposition of organic soil. So anyway, as we expanded the operation, we bought out the Prokopchuks, the Benarchuks, the Yarmaluks, the Hamakos, because they didn't have anybody to farm or they were getting too old. And then we grew our acreage up to about 800 acres. Now listen to this. We annually grow and pack around 50 million pounds of red, yellow, and pink onions a year. So we grow them, we store them, and then we pull them out. Like right now, we're still on old crop onions, and we will be on old crop onions until well into July. I started doing a little bit of arithmetic, and I divided 2.7 million into 50 million, and I ended up with about 20 pounds per person. The population of Toronto was roughly 2.7 million. So I thought to myself, geez, you know what? We gave everybody their annual dose of onions in Toronto off our one farm. And I thought that was pretty cool, pretty cool. We purchased a drone this year for crop spraying. It's a DJI, it's called the T40. So what we want to do, we want to take our land rigs out of the field and do it with drones. There's a couple of reasons. It's completely autonomous. We want to do a better job applying our crop protection materials so we get better coverage on the foliage, so we don't get into disease problems like fungus problems and insect problems. So that's going to start up this growing season. We do ads with local Ontario chain stores like Loblaws. So No Frills is the biggest mover because it's a discount mart. And we'll do 100,000, 80,000, 10-pound onions for a week's ad. And they'll discount them out because they're loss leaders who want to bring people in. They'll just come out, now up to $2.50. We're doing them for as low as $2 and even less. But when you take a look at it, like for 10 pounds of onions, we grow them, we store them, and then we pull them out of storage and we bag them and we truck them for $2.50. Jesus Christ, you gotta go and pay 20 bucks for a drink today in a bar. So, when somebody talks about expensive food, no, I don't think so. We got the best food supply in this country. My sense of community and philanthropy is tied to my understanding of stewardship. And we are great stewards. And that's another thing that I didn't mention that I want to mention. One of our problems we have today is too much government intervention, well, in our lives. And never mind that, in our farms as private property owners. How can somebody that's never farmed in their life, graduated out of some university with a bunch of letters behind his name, come onto my farm and start telling me how I should farm? No, I don't think so. No. Just to finish again, I'd like to say we are so very fortunate to live in this great land of opportunity. How lucky can you get? Really? Like, when you take a look at the rest of the world, take a look at the United States border right now, what's going on. People from Colombia, people from Central America, people from all over the world wanting to get into the United States and Canada. It tells you something. You know, when you start off a business like I did, and you start with nothing at all, you work your ass off, and you work hard. And you know, like Elon Musk says, the reason why I'm at where I'm at is because I work more in 1 year than most people do in 5. So you must work hard, you must put the hours in, but once you get there, you must work twice as hard. Why? So somebody will not take it away from you. And I keep telling young people around me, never take it for granted that you're here in Canada and you're going to keep this place forever and ever by doing nothing. You're going to have to work for it and work hard. Giving back to the community is a great way of expressing my gratitude, and seeing what all that hard work was for. Thanks again, everybody, for coming and supporting the Ukrainian cause. Slava Ukraini!